Is this the best Yoda that's out there? Let's find out. Hey everyone, so today we're going to take a look at Yoda from SHFiguarts. I've been looking for, I guess, a correct scale Yoda for my displays and also maybe for some photography purposes. The only real Yodas I have are the older Black series, also the Force Ghost Yoda, and then the one Yoda that came with Luke training in Dagobah. But to compare sizes, I only have this Yoda. Um, I was using him for a Christmas photo, which I'll put up, but I didn't take him out of the Santa jacket yet. So taking a closer look at the box, you have Yoda here in the middle. It comes with two other head sculpts and two other pairs of hands. He comes with his cane, his lightsaber with the swooshing effect, and then his regular lightsaber. Also, he does come with his seat on the Jedi Council. And behind Yoda is his robe. Here you have a picture of Yoda, of the figure. Here on the back, you have different poses of Yoda. I'm standing next to an SHFiguarts Obi-Wan. And all the legalese here in Japanese because I did get this from AmiAmi. And here's an old barcode. On the side, just pretty much says Star Wars. And here's the top and the bottom. But yeah, let's get them open and check them out. Here we have Yoda out of the package. Again, here is his chair with the Jedi Council. His little robe. Again, it is wired here at the bottom and at the hood. Two lightsabers. His cane. Different head sculpts and different hands. And it's going to be a little interesting for me trying to change these hands because they are itty bitty. They're very tiny. Again, here is Yoda. The figure definitely has some nice paint apps in the face. There might be some washes in the hair, or it just might be the way the light's hitting it. You can definitely get him into some nice poses. Let's check out his accessories. So before we get to the accessories, this figure does come with instructions, how to change the heads, how to insert the lightsabers in the hand, how to put the robe on, change the head, hands, and how to put Yoda on the chair. If you're unfamiliar with SHFiguarts, they usually have some kind of instructions, and which is good because I didn't know that you could do this with the chair. And you have to make sure that it does key in, but apparently you need to take this off to get Yoda in his seat. So first up is Yoda's robe. Nothing really special other than there is a wire that goes all the way here, all the way around, and on the hood. There aren't any wires in the sleeves, but it is pretty cool that there is a wire here, so you can definitely pose it as you need to, but that's pretty cool. Next up is his cane that he walks around with in all the prequels. Not sure if the cane is any different from the original trilogy, but you will see there is a little peg right here, and I did verify that one of the hands does have a hole in it, so you can peg that in. there's a better look at it. Now here's the lightsaber that he uses in both Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. Nothing really too special. It is a little bitty lightsaber. If you can get a better look there, because it's focusing too much on Yoda. Now I do pose a question. Supposedly in one of the Mandalorian shows, Luke shows this to Grogu, and he says it was from his former master. My understanding is Yoda lost the lightsaber, so I'd like to know how Yoda either got it back or did he construct a new one, and where'd it come from? But that's his lightsaber, just with the regular blade. And here's his lightsaber with the swooshing effect. You can use it when he's fighting any of the clones, like the 501st, or Commander Gree, or when he's fighting Dooku, or Darth Sidious. But yeah, that's his lightsaber with the swooshing effect. I kind of do like how Figuarts gave two different lightsabers. That way you don't have to try to take one off and risk breaking the little peg that goes into the hilt. So I definitely like them giving us two different lightsabers. And here we have Yoda with his eyes open, more of a stoic look, and with the two default hands that he comes with, force using hands, or when he's getting ready to fight Dooku. And here's Yoda with his other face, a little more determined look, and his two open hands. You see there's no hole in this hand, but there's a little tiny hole in this hand that you could put the cane in. Well, I finally got the cane in Yoda's hand. I did have to cheat. I did use a little bit of tack. The hole in Yoda's hand, it is shaped a certain way, and the peg on the cane has a certain shape on it also, so it goes in a certain way. But yeah, I was just having difficulty trying to put it in. Hands weren't cooperating, and the tool wasn't quite helping as much. So I said, what the heck, I'll just use a little bit of tack. And there he's holding his cane. Here's Yoda with his third alternate head. Eyes are closed, could be contemplating, could be communing with the Force. I also decided, just for fun, that he's dual wielding with both lightsabers. I suggest being careful. I think on this hand here, I might have put a little bit of stress marks on it, just trying to get it in the peg hole. Again, hand issues, trying to use some tools. But yeah, that's pretty much all of his accessories. Let's get him in his robe. Well, I finally got Yoda in his robe, and with the wire, it's nice. You can definitely get it into some other poses to show a little bit more dynamic instead of just having it lay flat. I know, people are divided, having a wired cape, robe, or not. Either is fine. I would like to be able to have the choice, because sometimes just having a non-wired cape or robe, just be able to lie flat, is a good thing. But if you're trying to get some dynamic poses, having a wired cape definitely helps. Now, it might just be me, but I think his sleeves might be just a little too big or too long. I have to kind of work on putting the sleeves up. so his hands will show. But otherwise, I mean, I think it's pretty cool. I definitely like having him with a wired robe. Now, again, just a quick look at his chair. It's very clean. It looks kind of like chrome in a way. There's no real weathering on the chairs. There really shouldn't be. The seat itself is just that kind of plain brown that you see. Again, no real weathering to make it look like it's been sitting for a long time. Who knows? Maybe they change it after every so often. But let's pop this off. And, there, now you can see through it. Maybe, who knows, Yoda uses it to go to the toilet. Just kidding. Or not. Well, I finally got Yoda in his chair. I guess he looks okay in it. I did kind of have the robes somewhat cover where his feet should be. I think he looks okay. I don't really know how often I will use him in display with the chair, but it is a nice option to have. Overall, I think it looks pretty good. Put a little finger on his head to support him there. There you can see where his feet are. But yeah, I think he looks pretty good in his chair. It would be nice to have other Jedi Council chairs in 112 format, to have other members to sit with Yoda and not just have, only Yoda in his chair. So I know I might have to talk to a couple people I know that do 3D printing, see if they might be able to print out some chairs. Here we have the Figuarts Yoda next to Black Series Yoda. Here's Figuarts Yoda standing next to Black Series Commander Gree and Black Series Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan. Here we have Yoda with Black Series Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker and Mathis Ahsoka Tano. So is this the quintessential Yoda to have in your collection? I guess that is basically all about choice. I did not get the 2-pack with Yoda and one of the versions of either Captain or Commander Greer. And even if I wanted to get that now, I looked and the prices for that 2-pack is just, it's crazy. Getting pretty close to $190. That's kind of what I saw on some different spots. I got my Figuarts Yoda from Ami, and total, with the shipping and all that stuff, it came out to basically $87 and about 60 cents. But he does come with 3 different head sculpts, altogether 3 pairs of hands, the 2 different lightsabers, his chair, his cane, and I do like the articulation. His robe, the soft goods, is nice. It has some issues in my opinion, but the wire in it does make it worth it to help get in those action poses. So I'm happy with what I got. I think he's definitely one of the better Yodas. I'll have to look for the one Yoda I have when he's training Luke on Dagobah. I know that one's a smaller version compared to the original Black Series. But yeah, I think that's pretty much going to do it for this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you picked this up in the comments down below. As you can probably see, I'm getting closer to having 1,000 subscriptions. So if you're new here, I would appreciate it if you would hit the subscribe button. Would go a long way for me reaching my goal of 1,000 subs. Also, you can see more in the description, various links to my social medias. I do post other stuff there that I don't normally post here on YouTube, so you can check that out, whether it's pictures or other stuff. But that's going to do it. Simo says, collect what you like, be awesome to one another. Until the next video, always with you is the Force.